Hi guys, finally I'm back home and we need to talk about today if Bitcoin can actually go much lower from here, or is it time to slowly deploy capital back into the markets? Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again today on this Thursday. For some reason, I thought almost it's Monday. You know me, guys. I'm getting all the time confused with which day we actually have. But let me start off with something that I see a lot of people are wondering what's going on. Did it already happen? Will it have a huge effect on the markets? What's actually going on with the 69,000 Bitcoins that currently the US government is still holding? Not one of them was sold yet. And when they're going to sell it and how they're actually going to sell it. And like I just said, will that have a certain impact on the current price action and potentially tumble us into even lower levels? Let me start off with this. These coins, they will not hit the open market. What do I mean by that? They will not, like the German government, go onto exchanges and sell them to retail investors and basically dump these coins on us, which could have, of course, a certain sell pressure then on the current price action and could lower us in terms of where we are at right now. But rather, these coins will go to OTC desks after an auction. So these coins are getting auctioned off like all the other Silk Road coins in the past that the US government was holding. One of the biggest buyers of these Silk Road coins, believe it or not, was actually Max Kaiser. You can go and Google it. He bought at some point, I think, 100,000 Bitcoins from Silk Road, or originated from Silk Road, but of course the Bitcoin price was different, so at that point in time, I guess at that time it was worth $50 million or something like that, the 100,000 Bitcoin that he bought. So, and other people were also buying huge stacks of the share that was available from the Silk Road coins on these auctions. So, and then if somebody acquires these coins, if it's somebody like Michael Saylor, Max Kaiser, they are keeping the coins. They are not going to an OTC desk or whatever. But then there's, of course, also other players involved. Like I just said, the OTC desks, they just want to make a flip. Sometimes these coins get, or let me put it this way. Sometimes you have the chance to buy them at a small discount through these auctions where you get like 5-10% less of the current value for the Bitcoin price. So, and that is actually then an arbitrage opportunity for OTC desks, because they're gonna resell then to accredited investors or to institutional players these coins at a usually it's between 1 and 2.5% of a markup. So now imagine you buy them at minus 10% of the auction and you resell them at plus 2.5%, your total profit is now 12.5%. So that's how OTC desks are working and how they are actually making money. So all this nonsense that is floating around right now with these Silk Road coins, they're going to hit the open market. We are doomed. We are going now to 30K. I actually saw a chart where somebody thought that we go to 30K. Multiple charts, actually. I saw now in the last 48 hours, I think I saw 3 or 4 people calling for 30K, so which is insane. So, and all that kind of nonsense that's floating around, it's not going to happen, guys. No, it's not going to happen, because these coins are not going into the retail market. They are not entering there. So, and the US government, somebody else also said, like, they have only a couple of days to conclude this sell. No, they have weeks to do that. In the past, they have taken the time to do that. And here will be the same thing again. They can technically auction them off on one single day, but there is a certain list of people, and they want to give everybody a fair chance that wants to attend all these auctions. So they have multiple days, sometimes up to multiple weeks, where they have then 1 or 2 days within the week set out where they're going to auction off these coins. So, and they want to make sure that everybody that wants to participate in this auction gets a chance to do so, and therefore it can go on over a couple of weeks until all these coins are actually gone. So, and you see here also another another hoax that people were selling, were talking about the last 24 hours was that these coins were actually already sold. But when you go here to the wallet address, to the outflow on Arkham, you see not one single coin has actually moved. And again, that is for the simple reason that these coins will get auctioned off. And then only then you're actually going to see them move, and not before. Something else that caught my eye over the last 2 days, when I was thinking about this, especially 2 days ago when I could not make a stream, was that something felt off. And I was like, this feels like that this happened around the same time, just the last month and the month before and the month before. And I had a look at the charts, and I actually found out that we're all a little bit stupid, so no offense, I include myself in that, we're all a little bit stupid. We could every single month do the same thing and prevent all that panic that is right now in the market, because every single time, look at this here. By the end of the current month, let's say now, we could, as an example, take here December. So, but every single month, by the end of the month, we start a sell-off that goes into the next following month. And between the 9th and the 14th, we usually turn around and go back to the upside. And then we start again here in the last week of the month, that slow descent where we get another sell-off. And it rinse and repeats over and over and over again, but we don't pay attention. We just don't fucking pay attention. So now we are awake, now we see it, now we should pay attention, but most likely, I can tell you one thing, something like this played out in 2017 and 2018, not that by the end of the month we were selling off, and then until the last week of the month we were going up again. There were other things they were working in the same manner. You can call it an algorithm that is playing out here, or a fractals, whatever you want to call it. There was something similar going on. So, and when I caught onto it, I had, I think, 3 months that I could take advantage of what I saw, and then it actually changed. And it was changed in a way that was then again really hard for me to figure out what they are doing without having actually a certain data set of multiple weeks or months to actually find out what they are doing. So, and here is the same thing. So now that we're awake and seeing this, and more people are catching on to this will most likely not continue for a long time anymore. So maybe into March, April, and then most likely this is going to shift, and you cannot play it in that same way anymore. So, but for now, I think that we are still here repeating this, and that means here somewhere between today and Monday, not actually Friday, between today and Monday, we're gonna bottom out, and we're going to turn around and go higher. So, and when I say we are bottoming out, this candle here from yesterday, this is, I'm on Ethereum. Shit, I just realized that. Why am I on Ethereum? I wanted that for Bitcoin. Now I have to do it again. But Ethereum, Bitcoin, so it's on Bitcoin the same thing. Yeah, so technically I have to redo it now on Bitcoin. So, but you get the idea. You see, I'm a little bit sleepy. I did not get a lot of sleep because I had to move from that island back home, So, and I actually opened a Bitcoin chart and it flipped somehow to Ethereum. I don't know how that happened, but you get the picture, So you get the picture. So, and here now when I look here at this candle with $92,670. We might go, when I look at this here now, a little bit lower, guys. Just a little bit lower, but not much. Most likely not breaking this low over here at $90,000. What is this? $90,300. Most likely will not be broken. Also here, I have a hard time to believe that we go under this higher low here. But we might get close to it. Before we get that bounce here. back to the upside. And then into the inauguration, we are going to see a nice pump here for the inauguration of Trump. And then most likely after the inauguration, we're going to see another slow bleed into the end of the month. That's most likely what I see here playing out right now. So another reason why I believe that we are close to a bottom right now is when I look at the open interest. The open interest is over the last 24 hours really, really negative, and that is usually also a sign that we are about to turn around. When you see open interest change here in the negative, that tells you that a lot of people are shorting right now. And what happens when you have too much on one side and too little on the other side? It gets balanced out, so that means we getting more longs, shorts get squeezed, we push higher, then the open interest is going to flip also positive here again, and the same with the funding rates. Now, when we are going into the weekly chart, here was also something that I wanted to show you guys. Yes, so every single time when we have actually a bull market and a new president coming in, we have the first 2 weeks of January actually here a pre-inauguration dump. And then we get continuation for the rest of the cycle. So here on this chart, I cannot go back because on Bybit all the way back to 2017, but it was the same thing. What is happening right now? Exactly again the same thing, so we got here last week a nice pump. This week we get a weekly candle basically retracing the whole move, but next week we should then get again continuation to the upside. But if you would have entered here this weekly trade that I had given here I think 3 weeks ago, you would be still fine. We are not even close to the stop loss here. So if you're still in this higher time frame trade, I would actually keep holding this, even though the RSI is now below the moving average here. I see this here as a fake out, and by next week turning around, because the stochastic is here ready to turn around already. If we are able to close this weekly candle that we currently have somewhere around $95,000, $96,000, we're gonna get here the buy signal that we are waiting for on the weekly chart. So a higher time frame buy signal, and that will then roll over and spill over into the lower time frames and will push the price back in direction of $100,000. So also here on the 12-hourly chart, let me actually remove this here a little bit. You see here the dashed line that I have down here. Worst case scenario, like I just mentioned, is that we are coming down and touch this, confirm this again as support, and from there go back here first to $97,500, and when we get here above the point of control, then we get the continuation. I want to remind you guys that I told you many times when we were fighting with that level here until we broke then above it, that I told you this here is a really important key VPVR cluster and also point of control that we need to get above and hold above for getting continuation, but instead we got slammed to the downside, and this was just a deviation. But now here on the 12-hourly chart, indicators are all turning around. You also see this here on the RSI that we are creating here a rounding bottom. We are about to get a buy signal on stochastic RSI, potentially with the current candle, if not then with the following candle, and the MACD can for now at least be ignored. But at the same time, we also need to pay attention to the EMA ribbon. So like I just said, when we come back up here, we need to get above the point of control to also reclaim the EMA ribbon, and only then we're going to get continuation to the upside. But in terms of lower targets, unless something really crazy happens, I like Trump, another assassination attempt on Trump, or somebody places another car bomb somewhere close to him, or for Elon Musk, I don't believe that we're going to get here another massive downwards move here below $90,000. I just don't see it happening, especially also when I look here at the MDX algo gradients. Here's something that I want to show you that has also happened every single time when I looked at it. Let me show it to you. So here on the scalp gradients, I hate this that it changes the color when I try to draw it. Look at this here. Actually, at this section here. So we are most likely here right now in this area here. When you look here over here, So now I get the color back. So what is missing? So we are starting right now here the first turquoise-ish candle, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles before we most likely turn around here. So a complete cool off on the gradients, hopefully happening within that that buy cluster that we are currently in, which does not mean that we cannot get here one more wick to the downside, but overall that cluster should hold. We can wick one time quickly below that, and then we get the continuation here. So and that would also put our time window between 12 and 24 hours, where we are most likely going to see Bitcoin locally bottoming out and starting the turnaround and reclimb back to the upside. The gradients have usually never failed us. I told you also here, these dot plots down here, they on the reactor indicator, they're usually a sign that we are turning around. You see here, we get them usually just before we are bottoming out. You can see this here in the price action. So if I draw here a box, you know, so go away. So actually here. So here, that was kind of like where it happened. So here, this is where this happened. My drawing skills are again amazing. So here, up. So here you can see afterwards we went a little bit lower. And here we are doing the same thing right now. We're just going a little bit lower. I don't expect a move like this here to the downside. And like I said, you know, so we could get here 1 wick, come straight back up with green candles, and here also then a proper green area on the reactor indicator, turning around this back to the upside, putting pressure on the buy side and squeezing back into the $100,000 direction. So now what is going on with my trades on ZoomX? So I can tell you, I was worth double a couple of days ago, you know, so now everything is red again, but it's fine, you know, so at least I can tell you one thing, my Solana trade is not suffering as much as it did a couple of weeks ago, which is nice. So because we are holding here really, really good levels. My Bitcoin trade is also not far off from break even, you know, so really, really, yeah, it's less than 1% actually, you know, so that's absolutely fine. And my Ethereum trade, okay, my Ethereum trade, if it goes lower, I have still everywhere I have limit orders to buy lower if I reach these levels. So I'm absolutely fine with that. I actually got off the phone today with ZoomX. There's also something coming, I think next week they said. So next week we're gonna do again something most likely perfectly in time with the market turning around. So make sure that you actually have a ZoomX account, especially if you're in a country where you cannot use Bybit and don't want to complete any KYC, guys. No KYC on ZoomX and $45,000 worth of sign-up bonuses with the link in the description. So now, when I go into the liquidation levels, here's another reason why I believe that we are close to a local bottom. Here is no over-leveraged liquidity anymore on the chart. In terms of long liquidity that could get swept, only low leverage liquidity is still all the way down here. But if a market maker wants to go here now for high leverage liquidity, they have to push here back into the higher levels, all the way up here to $105,000. There's also still a little bit here at $107,000. But I think before we reach here this level and potentially even this level, that these over-leveraged short positions will actually close their positions to avoid to get liquidated or get forced to be stopped out on their trades. But here, all the way up to $100,000, I think these levels gonna get swept here in the next 7 days. In the next 7 days, I'm gonna see that being swept, and also the golden cross here that we are now potentially turning around here a little bit. This is also just a small delay, an inevitable delay for that golden cross to be happening. This is definitely coming, you know. So when price will now turn around here at some point over the next 24 hours, how much have they actually delayed it? Maybe by a day or two, you know. So instead of Yeah, we should have gotten it potentially today if we would have not broken down. So, okay, they have maybe delayed it by a week. Is that really bad for us? No, it's actually not bad. So I don't care. So it doesn't really matter because it's just a week. It's not a month. So who cares about a week? Now, here in terms of the liquidation heat map, you can also see that below there's no liquidity, no real liquidity remaining anymore here on the weekly chart. What we have built in liquidity over the last 7 days. And you see here, the highest concentrated area is around $99,000, so to speak, with $113.28 million worth of short positions sitting here. And then the next level is here at $103,000. So, and of course, once we are pushing here above $96,700, we're gonna trigger a short squeeze, and that could immediately teleport us again close to the $100,000 mark here. I'm gonna have a look later in the chat, guys. I just want to get through everything here. I'm already talking almost 20 minutes about Bitcoin. We have to move on here pretty soon. I just want to pop the chat out, my window here, so that I better see what's going on here with you guys. I just talked about US and DOJ selling. So I just talked about this. So if you missed it, go back to the beginning of the video then. So let's talk about shorter time frame, what's happening here right now. So Bitcoin, I actually just see this that we are again here at $92,850. A little bit surprised that we are retesting this here again. But I can tell you, for me, from the way that this looks like, this is a massive, massive bear trap, guys. A massive, massive bear trap. The moment that we are breaking above this downward sloping trend line, everything will reverse. So now this trend line on the shorter time frames is converging with here the horizontal level of $93,700 if we would turn around here right now. But if price would move just a little bit lower, then of course also the downward sloping trend line is a moving target, and that will change then a little bit. So I can only assume, because now it's 8:30. Yeah, in 7 minutes the US market is opening. So I guess that 1 hourly move here currently to the downside in that candle is attributed due to the fact that the US market is opening here in 7 minutes. So, but I actually expect that with the US session, that the market will actually slightly start to turn around here. Because when you go to the 4 hourly chart, we are flatlining here. We are flatlining here since Tuesday. 48 hours already flatlining here. We can only flatline for so long until we get at least a short-term relief bounce. So that bounce is imminent. And we don't actually need to go here much lower. So the liquidity that's below $90,000 is really, really hard to actually tap into, because you have around the $92,000 and the $90,000 level still a massive, massive, massive buy orders, guys. So when you go to websites where you can actually see, even on Binance, so if you go into the order book and you look at the order book, what kind of orders are stacked between $90,000 and $92,000, it's insane. There are so huge orders there, guys. Trust me, a move to below $90,000 is highly, highly unlikely. Then here on the 50 minutes chart, actually what I almost forgot, the trade that I had given here on Monday, it was on Monday, actually played out here completely. So first of all, if you were able to catch that trade, amazing, guys, congratulations that you were able to catch that. And here now, you see it even better on the 50 minutes chart. So if you draw here a trend line like this, also here you see the stochastic is soon bottoming out in 5 minutes, and then we should get a turnaround here. So I'm definitely not concerned about this whatsoever. And it's really, really funny, So I saw other people on YouTube earlier when I was just scrolling, I wasn't watching anything. I saw so many influencers right now posting that they're going to sell. I don't know if it was for clickbait or not. They're like, I'm out. I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's crazy, guys. It's crazy what's happening. You see, we are already bouncing here a little bit back to the upside. With the next 15-minute candle, we're most likely going to turn around. So now on Bybit, that I opened yesterday a new trade here on Bitcoin. Now that we are bouncing a little bit, I will actually go and add a little bit more to this trade. The same what I did yesterday. You see here, I keep buying every dip that we get to make sure that I dollar cost average my position down. Oh yeah, that's fine. My liquidation price. Oh wait, was this a limit order? No, that was market. Okay, so it did nothing. I did not see anything. I don't see more money in my trade. What's going on? Okay, I know what happened, I think. Let me see here. Now I need to test something. Oh no. So let's see. Value. Let's see, does the value change now? Huh? Really strange. The value is not changing, and it's also not adding. What's going on here, guys? This is really strange. Did it go through? But it did go through. Okay, so, okay. I thought already something is wrong here, but maybe I just need to refresh the chart. I don't know. So, but yeah, you see I keep buying, you know, so I keep buying. The lower we go, I just keep buying more and more and more. I don't care, guys. You know, again, if you want to trade with me on Bybit together, get a free $500 airdrop position. There is a link pinned in the chat, guys. Get a Bybit account and the Bybit debit card. I pay everything with that debit card. It's so amazing. I could not have any other card that I like more to go shopping with, especially because I get 10% cash back every single time that I pay with that card. So now imagine I buy a Rolex, you know, and I get the tax refund because I'm not in my home country, plus I get 10% cash back. So I get like 25% of the value back of the watch that I buy, you know. So this is just amazing, and I get it back in USDT, you know, so not in something else. So so definitely make sure that you get one of these cards here from Bybit with the link in the chat, pinned in the chat. So now let's talk about the dominance. Altcoins are actually holding up quite well, I must say. I was really surprised about this, but if you are here a subscriber for longer than 4 to 6 months, then you were here when I told you, and I was right the last time with that, and I think I will be right here again, when I told you, when altcoins not reacting anymore to Bitcoin going down, that is usually the moment when we are close to the overall market bottom, local bottom. Last time I was right with that, and I'm leaning myself here again out of the window and say I think that I will be here right again because the dominance is going down and keeps altcoins kind of alive and afloat at their current levels, and is not actually causing a massive dump in altcoins like you would usually expect when Bitcoin goes down $1,000. We have seen that in the past. Bitcoin goes $1,000, $2,000 down, which is now a 1-2% move-ish. But altcoins went down 6, 7, 10% at the same time, and you don't see that right now because the dominance is coming down, and that means that money is flowing from Bitcoin into altcoins to keep them afloat where they are right now, more or less. You know, so of course they're going down a little bit, but not as much as they used to when dominance was going up and Bitcoin was going down. You know, so, and this is actually nice to see and puts us exactly in that time frame where we are usually seeing the turnaround in the market over the next coming days here. So here that we got rejected from the 58% level was expected. I want to remind you guys that we talked about this. I said, pay attention to it. We're just going to put in another lower high here, and then we're going to get continuation to the downside. Now on the total free market cap, nothing has really changed here. We got that wick here below that current support box, still support, but now we are retesting the lower end of that support box again. I still believe that this is going to hold and that we're going to see here over the next couple of days then also the trajectory that we have mapped out here for such a long time playing out. And at the same time, we're most likely forming here a W pattern. A W pattern, and once that W pattern is completed, then we're gonna move into a new all-time high for the total free market cap. for altcoins, and that will send our altcoin backs then massively to the upside. So now when we look at Ethereum, also, so here Ethereum with the indicators looks a little bit different than Bitcoin, I must say, because I don't like how the stochastic looks here. The stochastic looks like Ethereum is going to puke one more time and then consolidate a little bit and then starts to come back to the upside. So for Ethereum, I have not so good news. So we might actually come all the way down here to the bottom of $3,200. I think it's good news because I can then just get my limit orders triggered that I still have on ZoomX and other places to load up here again, because I just want to remind you guys, I told you every single time when we come back into this green area, buy just as much as you can, because you never know how long we are still able to buy here before we never come back to this zone again, and it will most likely be over that we come back here into the zone until the next bear market when we find support above $3,800. So once we find support above there, and that level up here is acting the same way that this level down here is acting, most likely we will not see for a couple of months Ethereum coming back below the $3,800 marks. And that's why it's so important that you take advantage of that right now, because otherwise you miss out on a 20%, only on spot 20% gains that you would have already in the bag once we're getting all the way up here. So you don't want to miss out on that and be left behind. So, but currently, like I said, I expect that we could get here that small move into the $3,200 level. I would personally set here some limit orders, but I would also, at least for my spot backs, I would not really care. You know, so for my spot backs, I would buy right now on leverage. I would start laddering in here at the 0.5 level, because you saw we touched it and then got a bounce back to the upside. Most likely the same is going to happen once again when we're touching it, and then you get the continuation to the upside. For Solana, we have broken out of that symmetrical triangle here to the upside, but when we ran into this downward sloping resistance, also here we got slammed and now came back into that symmetrical triangle. And here I just want to point out, we were breaking out too early, guys. You know, we were breaking out too early, so it was not a big surprise that this turned around, because the perfect moment to break out would have been around here and here, and we did it prematurely, and then we turn around. It's the same thing when we would have broken out here, then also most likely we would have gotten a deviation and would have moved here into lower levels. So I see, I also saw earlier a lot of people calling now for like $160, $170 for Solana. I also don't see that, you know. So worst case scenario for Solana, $185, $180 back here into that underlying big support level. That is a key support area. We started from there. The last big move here into $265. And also the when we came back down, this level held support. I expect this level again to hold support. If we would actually reach it, we might actually only reach here around $180, which is the top side of it. And then also from there get continuation, because the indicators are also heavily oversold like anything else in the market currently. When you look at the 4-hourly, 12-hourly, and the daily time frames, everything is massively oversold, which means that we at least get a short-term relief bounce here in the next coming days. So now I'm gonna have a quick look in the chat. What's going on here? Let's see here. Yeah, guys, you know, I don't trade meme coins. So what meme coins are doing, I could not care less what meme coins are doing. You know, so there is a reason. You know now. If you're for a long time here, you know now why I don't touch meme coins usually, because when Bitcoin pukes, you know, so you get completely wrecked on meme coins. That's why I really don't like to touch them. So I'm gonna touch here quickly on XRP. I will be still here for like 3, 4, 5 minutes. Then I have to be somewhere else. Let me actually have a look here. Which chart I can use. I can use this one here, I think. XRP is still fine, guys. So XRP is still consolidating here in that big symmetrical triangle that we have here. We are right now in the breakout window. So also here, most likely next week I see here a breakout for Ripple to the upside. I also still have my Ripple position that I'm trading with. So here's maybe another 48 hours where we could come a little bit lower or consolidate within it symmetrical triangle, and then by what is this here? Sunday, Monday, most likely we're going to see the breakout here. So which is not insane. We are talking here from current levels about a 10% move, not even a 7% move to break out of that symmetrical triangle and reaching then the take profit level here of $2.91. So because that is the technical target of that triangle. Let me have a look here. I will not tell you how big my trading account is, but it's big, So on ZoomX alone, so when everything only goes into break even on ZoomX alone, it's over $500,000. On Bybit it's over $200,000. I have, I think, 10 different trading accounts or something. I'm not trading all the time on all accounts at the same time, but I have everywhere money, So I have everywhere money, and I have my spot backs also. So let's have a look here. Rune. I had a small Rune position. Oh no, I still have it. I thought I got wrecked on it, but I actually still have it. So let's see here. Rune, maybe Binance chart. Looks a little bit better. Yeah, Rune is right now super sensitive to what Bitcoin does. Almost acting like a meme coin when Bitcoin goes down. So here, what I would be looking out for is if we go all the way down here to that low over here. So that is not far away. And okay, it's still an 8%, 9% move to the downside. So I would actually set some limit orders here on spot and for leverage, because most likely we're going to wick down here, and then you're going to see a W formation or another pattern, or you're going to see here again a pennant, and that is going to break then to the upside for a reversal into higher levels. So, but most likely we're going to touch here $3.30 on Rune, and then you're going to get the turnaround. So then let me Sui. Yeah, Sui. I actually have still my Sui trade running, but I'm also keeping. I keep adding to that trade on the way down here. So here for Sui, most likely will come down here into that green buy cluster where we have a lot of buy orders currently sitting. On the 4-hourly chart, there's maybe another 6 hours of downwards pressure, at least on a stochastic RSI, but the RSI is also slowly turning around and putting in here already higher lows, while the price is still going overall down. So here's a small bullish divergence. So there might be also soon a turnaround in Sui back to the upside. So, and I actually will do after the stream, set some limit orders all the way down here in that cluster to protect a little bit more my position, even though I will be still fine. I think my liquidation price is at like $3.80 or something for the trade that I have on Sui. So I should be still, in general, be fine on that. So the upside targets still remain the same. You see here we have struggled to hold the golden ratio. So that should be your first take profit point on the reversal back to the upside. And then the next one should be around the $6 mark for Sui. So that has not changed. Like I said, so here just above and within that order block is where I would set my orders. If we break for some weird reason first to the upside and completely turn around here, at $4.68 would be the level where I would start laddering into a position if we would turn around and break to the upside. Yeah, meme coin. I don't know, guys. Guys, I'm almost here 40 minutes. Actually, I have to thank you guys. We had almost 500 people here on the live stream. Thank you so much for that. I have to run. I have to be somewhere else, and I need to cool my middle finger. Look here. I look like that. My middle finger turned into a finger of Hulk. If you compare that to the other one, you see the difference. This is insane. So let me actually show that to you here on full screen. Look. You see that? See that? How big that middle finger is compared to my other one? You know, so this is insane, you know. So I need to take care of that, you know, so because it's got really big here. So there you see it actually better, you know, between the other fingers. So yeah, shit happens. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you buying the bottom tomorrow.